Welcome, YouTubers and PokeTubers alike. As always, this is StoutlandSurfer, and I'm bringing you a very special birthday episode, well, as it is my birthday. Now, if you remember 2 months back or so, I promised you Pokemon Creepypasta videos. Today, I'm going to be reading probably one of the most cliché. And, if you don't believe me, the word cliché is in the title. This is going to be a direct read because this was a video I just did off the top of my head. There was no pre-planning. I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I feel that I owe it to you, and, you know, why not, just for the lulz. Let's get started. Before I start, I must tell you that this isn't just another creepy story. This really happened. I was an intern at the studios where they used to develop the old Pokemon games. And while I was there, one of the developers gave me an old cartridge. He said that he didn't want it anymore because it was cursed, and that he bought it at a yard sale. Okay, just a quick side note. Do you remember when yard sales were, oh, I don't know, a good thing? Like, you could just go and get something for like $3, and ever since the internet came along, suddenly that's preposterous. Alright, back on topic. Apparently, the guy he bought it off found it in a bin with a note reading, "This game is never to be played," taped to it, and was selling it because he hadn't paid attention to the note and saw the horror of this copy of the game. Really? This game is never to be played? I guess that wasn't subtle enough. After telling me that, the developer told me he hadn't bothered with the warning either, and was also now trying to pass on the game. What a dick. I was fascinated by the story and foolishly accepted the cursed cartridge, taking it home. I dug my old Game Boy out from under my bed, put the cartridge in, and started playing. Minutes after I started playing, something seemed wrong. There was only one choice of Pokemon. A red-eyed black Pikachu named Demon. Strangely, I couldn't give it a nickname, but I decided Demon sounded pretty badass. Once I'd gone through the beginning part, I decided to head out and catch some Pokemon. I soon caught another Pokemon, a Pidgey, which I preferred because I was going to teach it the fly move, and decided to call it Jimmy. Naturally, I began using Jimmy more than Demon. After playing for about 2 hours using only Jimmy, a message came up telling me Demon wants attention, but I ignored it. Another few hours later, while I was looking around Viridian City, a message came up saying, "Demon wants attention," and now Jimmy is gone. Upon reading "gone," I was very confused, and when I went to the Pokemon menu, as it said, Jimmy was gone. I left the Pokemon menu to go and then find another Pidgey, and what looked like the evolution screen came up. But instead of showing a Pokemon evolving, the message read, "Do you love me now?" showing the black Pikachu, with bits of Jimmy attached to him. He had the Pidgey's crest on his head and the wings on his back. Although it sent a shiver down my spine, I continued to play thinking, what's the worst that could happen? Yeah, dude, because seeing a severed Pidgey on a black Pikachu with red eyes named Demon in all caps is clearly normal. But not wanting to upset him anymore, I started to use Demon. This had a very strange effect on the gameplay. Demon didn't use electricity attacks anymore, and they were all now dark attacks which defeated a Pokemon in a single hit. As a Pokemon was defeated, instead of fainting, a message came up saying that the Pokemon I had battling had died, or after defeating all their Pokemon, that the trainer had died. To add to this, once a trainer battle had finished, the trainer disappeared. After a few battles, I went downstairs and searched Google for similar occurrences, and it seemed that a handful of people had come into contact with the same cartridge, all claiming that the same thing had happened. From these stories, it seemed the same copy had circulated the country, with each player either throwing it away or selling it. To add to the mystery and discomfort of reading these stories, there were reports on blogs and forums that everyone who had played it had seemingly committed suicide shortly after getting rid of it. I came back upstairs, took the cartridge out of my Game Boy, and thought about how to get rid of it. Eventually, I settled on a way that would mean nobody would ever play it again, aside from all those people on the internet who clearly played it again. But whatever, your story. I threw it into the fire downstairs. Once I was certain that the cartridge was gone, I found my copy of Pokemon Yellow to try and take my mind off the cursed game, but keep the nostalgia going. I turned on the Game Boy, and a message came up saying, "Demon has escaped." I began to turn around, and my Game Boy made a very loud beeping sound. Jumping at the noise, I looked at the back of the screen to read a message that said, "Don't turn around." I stared at the Game Boy screen, frozen with fear. Behind me, a high, quiet voice said, "Do you love me now?" Well, that's it for this creepypasta. What do I think? Come on. This is Pokemon Creepy Black. It has it written all over it. Labels and demons and escaping the video games and oh no, the game's talking to me and oh, there goes the computer player and killed someone else. Hey, at least this was nice enough to put Cliché in the title. So it makes some good troll pasta. And if you're into troll pasta, then I'll provide a link. Even though I just read that whole thing. Alright, well guys, thank you for watching. This has been a very special birthday episode, and I hope you enjoy my content. Feel free to subscribe if you liked what you watched, and I promise more coming on the way. Thank you.